Hello, everybody, and welcome to another What's New Wednesday. My name is Katie, and I am a design educator for Canva coming to you from Austin, Texas. Let me know in the chat where you're coming from. I love learning about our international community, so while you're at it, why don't you also let me know what you're working on or what you've been using Canva for a lot lately? I'll start. Like I said, my name is Katie. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I have actually been using Canva's video editor a lot lately to make demos for some of my customers. So I can't wait to read later what you are all working on. So this is what we're gonna go over today. Let's have a look at the topics, what's new in Canva for July. First, we're gonna explore magic in sheets. This is gonna empower you to quickly transform your data into compelling visual stories. Next, we're gonna look at AI for presentations. These are some really exciting updates on how you can use AI to bring your presentations to the next level. And finally, we're gonna touch on video updates. I know a lot of you, like I just said, love video editing in Canva. A daunting task made more accessible with Canva. So I'm really excited to show you the latest and greatest there. Now let me do just a couple of pieces of house cleaning up top, and then we'll get into seeing the topics in action. First up, the question I get the most probably is, will this session be recorded? And the answer is yes. We are going to record this and then post it on YouTube and send out a link in the next week or so. So if you can't stay for the entire session, don't sweat. You'll be getting the recording. Secondly, I do have a handbook that goes along with this session. It has a lot of great resources, a recap of everything we're going to discuss, some what I call learn and plays, which are ways for you to get in and practice these new features on your own. So make sure you're grabbing that. Our awesome moderators are going to be dropping that link in the chat for you. And yeah, I think that is all the house cleaning I needed to do up top. If you've never attended one of these sessions before, welcome. We're going to do a little bit of talk, a little bit of demo, but let me know in the chat what you think of these features as we go, and our moderators are going to help answer any questions you have as well. So, y'all ready to see the first feature? In case you haven't heard, Canva has introduced Sheets. This was launched at Canva Create a couple of months ago, and I did demo this in the last What's New Wednesday. So in our last session, I showed you how you can make graphs and charts with sheets in just a couple of clicks, how you can import your data really easily. And now I'm going to show you some more ways that you can use Magic AI in your Canva sheets. First up, we have Magic Insights. So this tool is designed to transform complex data into simple, clear visuals. It uses AI to just identify patterns in your data and help you explain those patterns in a really accessible way. And then we're going to look at magic formulas. There are so many cool things you can do in Sheets when you know formulas, but if you're like me, you might not know those off the top of your head. Well, you can just talk to your sheet like you would talk to another human being, and it will produce those formulas for you. This has been really, really great for me because I don't work in sheets and data all that often, but now it's less intimidating with the use of Magic. So these tools are all about empowering you to work smarter, not harder, and make data accessible to everyone. So why don't I just go ahead and, instead of telling you about it, show you it. Let's jump into the demo space. Okay, so here we are in a deck. For the purposes of this demo, I am on the marketing team and we are looking at life cycle strategies from the last quarter. And here I have a sheet with all our different strategies, or all our different marketing channels, and the budget, remaining budget, ROI, and so on and so on. And yes, in case you missed it, last time we did talk about how you can have different design types within one design now. I won't spend too much time on that, but just in case you missed it, if you go to this arrow in whatever kind of design you're making, you can now add a doc, a sheet, a social media post, a video, whatever. But for the purposes of this demo, we are looking at this sheet that we have baked into a presentation. So the first thing I need to do is calculate the total spend. So we have budget, remaining budget, total spend. And this is where our magic formulas are gonna come into play. So on my keyboard, I'm hitting the / and I'm gonna search magic formulas. So what was the difference in the budget and the remaining budget? And so it shows me the formula right here. So I'm gonna insert that. I could copy it and put the formula somewhere else within the deck or within the sheet. I'm just gonna insert it right there. And now I'm gonna go ahead and drag down and figure it out for everything in here. Looks good. You can also do something a little more complicated, like maybe here, say maybe here for remaining budget, I want to put in what was the remaining budget for email marketing, organic social, and in-store promotions. Okay, how cool is that? It's letting me know like it's identified where those are in the sheet and gives me the formula. Perfect. So yeah, that is magic formulas. I think it's gonna make analyzing your data and making your sheets more useful so much easier. So next, we are gonna move into magic insights. So I'm gonna highlight the whole sheet. I'm gonna go to actions, magic insights. So you can get very complex here. You can also do something really simple. And that's what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna ask magic insights to identify insights. This shouldn't take that long depending on how many rows of data you have in your sheet, which I believe you can have up to 100 rows. Okay, let's see what insights it came up with. So it's letting me know the channel with the highest ROI, the total attributed revenue, and then it's also made some charts for me. That is super, super helpful. Now we could get even a little bit more into the weeds. Which channel was the least successful? The channel with the lowest ROI is in-store promotions, indicating it was the least efficient in generating returns. That is so helpful. Okay, so now what do I do with these? Well, in this specific design, I have a page called Q1 Marketing Finds. This is a template, and so there's going to be a chart here, and I need to put some stats here. Well, I can just copy the formula or copy the text and paste it there. And so now I can use these to fill out my findings for the rest of this slide before we move on to the chart. So I'll do that. I'll go through the insights and see what I find to be the most impactful and fill out this. But I also want to show you how we can now connect this empty chart right here to that slide. So I'm going to click on this and go up to Edit, Import Data, and I'm going to say the data's in a sheet here in my Canva. And there we go. It's found my sheet in that document. And it just automatically fills in the chart for me. So then I just go and change my colors to be my colors that are on brand and edit, customize what I want it to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this slide that's finished. And how good does this look? And these charts are interactive. So this is how you can use magic formulas, magic insights, and make your data really, really pop with these new Canva features. Let me know in the chat if these have sparked any ideas for you. And we're gonna go ahead and look at the next feature. All right, next up, we continue with Fun with Magic in one of my favorite design mediums, or at least the one that I work in probably the most, and that is Canva presentations. These intelligent new features simplify the design process by enhancing visual appeal and helping you work faster, allowing users to create professional grade presentations effortlessly. First, with Magic Write, you can create personalized presenter notes. This is something I use all the time, and sometimes you just get writer's block with your presenter notes. So let the magic of AI help you out there. Next, our AI voice features allows you to transform your words into natural sounding audio clips in just seconds. And then lastly, with our quizzes features, you can turn everyday presentations into an interactive moment. This keeps your audience actively engaged and makes the learning experience much more dynamic. So instead of telling you about it once again, I'm going to show it to you now. Into the demo space we go. All right, now we are back into our life cycle strategy deck. And so I've spent all this time making this really pop, making it visually stunning, but now it's time to think about what I'm going to actually say when presenting this. I don't particularly like just reading what's on the screen. I want to put in my own thoughts and give it a little bit of personality when I'm presenting. So I do rely pretty heavily on the speaker notes function. But sometimes when you've spent all this time creating your deck and thinking about what's going to go on there, you get a little tired. You might get a little writer's block when it comes to writing your speaker's notes. No worries, Magic Write has got you covered. So you'll notice right here, generate notes. Let's give it a try. So the AI is just kind of looking at what's on the page and generating notes that are going to resonate. So let's dive into the core of what drives our company, our mission, vision, and goals. Okay, I like this. It even gives you kind of what I call like stage directions. Pause briefly to allow this to sink in. Now, this is great. For me though, I don't like speaker notes that long. Let's keep it a little bit snappier. So I'm gonna go to actions and say shorten notes, but you could also say make them more fun, make them more formal, or just give it another try. But I'm gonna say shorten notes. And here you go. Oh, I like this. It took out the stage directions and it kind of put it in bullet points. I really like this. So now I can speak confidently about what's on the page. I will say, when using Magic Write or anything that's like generative AI like that, make sure you're not just letting Magic Write it and running with it. Always double check that it is how you want to speak and what you want to say, and make any changes you might want to make. You don't want to be surprised reading off some AI written notes when you're actually doing your public speaking. So just keep that in mind. I always say, don't just blindly use what AI gives you. make sure you're checking it. So that was the magic speaker notes. Now let's have a look about another cool feature. So I'm on this page with my marketing findings like we went over from last time. And let's say at the end of the session, I want to see if my audience was paying attention. So I'm going to click on this text, hit the magic right button, and toggle down to generate a quiz. Quizzes and polls are kind of a new feature that I think are really, really cool and a great way to engage your audience. So yeah, it has generated this quiz, and maybe now I copy paste it and put it on a different page. And that's what I've done here. At the end of the deck, I've put in pop quiz, time for a pop quiz. And now this is a way that I can engage my audience. Now I have had a lot of people when I've done demos about quizzes and polls, and people will ask, okay, well, how do you use this? So I'm going to take a moment to show how I've used quizzes and polls to engage my audience. So first thing I'm going to do is go up to share and put whatever settings I want here. So I want to put anyone with the link can view. You can also change it to anyone in this company, or only I have access. But let's say this quiz, this presentation is for people outside of my company. So I want to put anyone with the link can view, because I don't want anyone editing this. I don't want anybody putting comments, but I do want them to be able to interact with this quiz. And then I'm going to hit the 3 dots at the top of this page and copy link to this page. So I might say, okay, and now I want to see if you've been paying attention. I'm going to drop this link in the chat and go ahead and take the quiz on the page. So let me show you what that looks like. Let me go to an incognito window and paste that link. And now, since I'm not logged in, it assigns me this, is that a beaver? It assigns me the beaver. I've also seen a kangaroo. I've also, I think, seen a squirrel. Very, very cute. And now your audience can take these quizzes. So, I got that one wrong. Let's see. Well, I wasn't paying attention. Let's go back and look and see if people who took this quiz were. So you can go up to responses. Okay, it looks like most of the people that took my quiz, of the 10 that took it, 7 got it correct. You can now also take the responses from your quiz and put them into a sheet as well. So this would be really good if you are doing something where you're wanting to really engage with a large audience and then use the data from that engagement. So that's really cool, I think. Let me know in the chat if you've used polls and quizzes, or if you've never seen that before, if this is the first time you're seeing that. But now it's so easy to make a quiz out of anything in your work. Now, you might have noticed right here, generate AI voice. This is the last thing I want to show in this section. So it's exactly what it sounds like. You can hit the magic right, generate AI voice, and it'll take that text and give you the option to have someone from our AI community read that out to you. So there are tons of different dialects and accents. For English, there's Australian English, UK, United States, and you can hear a sample of it before you play it.
Vision. Transform the market with innovative, customer-centric solutions that...
I think that sounds pretty good. So I could then generate this AI voice to read this off. But this is the slide that I made these notes for. I'm going to be reading this off myself. You can also take the text that you want it to read out. It doesn't have to be something that you've already generated. So let's say I'm going to take this and I'm going to toggle over to AI voice on your left-hand panel. If you don't see AI voice on your left-hand panel, you might need to go up to apps and search it in there. So now I'm going to paste that in and generate that voice. So now when I get to this last page, I can let AI make the announcement that we have a pop quiz.
Time for a pop quiz. Yes, it's time for some audience participation, folks. Click on the link we just dropped in the chat. First question, which chat?
So those are some of the new updates for presentations. A lot of these features can be used in other types of designs, but especially the speaker notes and the quiz, I think you'll find most useful here in presentations. So let me know in the chat what your favorite thing so far was, and I'm gonna get back into the deck and bring us into our last feature. And here we are. Lastly, we are gonna discuss updates to video in Canva designs. I run a lot of Canva training sessions for our customers every day, and video editing is one of the most requested features. So we've saved the best for last. Let's see what we got. First up, we have volume balancing. So if you ever had a bunch of video clips and the audio is just all over the place, and getting in there and leveling them all out is super, super tedious. So we've come up with a way to make that a lot easier for you. Next, we have caption animations. So video captions have been hugely popular since they dropped kind of recently, but now you can make them even more accessible with a very small tweak that makes a huge difference with the caption animations. And then I'm going to show you how easy it is to make adjustments to your videos to their looks and feel. So into the editor we go. Here we are in our video editor. So let's say for that life cycle strategy deck we've been working on, we have three main stakeholders. We have Nicole, we have Aaron, and then we have myself. So these were all recorded separately, so I couldn't really control how loud the volume is on all the videos. So let's hear Nicole first.
We're going to take a look at what we uncovered through some recent market research.
Okay, and let's try Aaron.
Start with a meta pre.
Oh, the volume on those two are really different.
My name is Katie. I'm going to be walking us through.
And mine is a little bit, not quite as loud as Aaron's, but definitely louder than Nicole's. Now, I could go up here and manually adjust everyone's audio to be the same, but that's tedious. So work smarter, not harder. So we are going to hit the volume key and hit balance. And so you see it dropped Aaron's volume down to 23. Mine's at 26. And Nicole's is at 142. So that shows you the level of difference in the audio.
To go into a lot of detail about everything we learned. Let's go.
Just a quick recap again.
That sounds so much more even. So I think that's a really, really cool feature. Something else I've kind of noticed in these videos, look how well lit Aaron is, as well as Nicole, whereas my video looks a little bit darker. Another new feature is that you can now make adjustments to that with video. So click on the video, edit, and adjust. So I could, pull up the lightness. Ooh, that's too much. Maybe play with highlights, shadows. Well, I'm not really an expert in this, so I'm actually just gonna use auto adjust to make some really subtle tweaks. And I think that actually looks a lot better, but without looking like I tried without really knowing what I was doing. So that is also new. Next, we're gonna look at captions. Captions aren't new, but they came out not that long ago, so fairly new. But now we have an update to how you can affect the look and feel of your captions. So go to text. AI has identified that there's 3 videos in here that are suitable for captions. Generate the captions. And then you can go in and move them wherever you want them. Change the font. Change the background color to something in your brand kit. I'm going to go ahead and jump into one where I've done these edits and made the font and the look and feel of the captions how I want it. So that is super, super branded for this team. But now I'm going to go up to animate and look at the animations for the captions. So first we have reveal. So as Nicole speaks, words are revealed. We have highlight, which is a similar, but it highlights words. You can edit the color that it highlights. And then we have snake, where it underlines the words as they're spoken. I like reveal. So I'll go and add that to all of my captions. Perfect. So before I go on with this, I want to show you one thing that is, we're kind of going back to AI voice, which we showed earlier, but I think this is a really cool use case for AI voice in video. So here's a snippet of Nicole's video.
Just a quick recap again on using Canva Enterprise.
So I'm going to go to resize and I'm going to translate this to Spanish. So obviously it's not going to translate what she's saying. It's just going to translate the captions. This is a really great way to make your videos more accessible to everybody on the team all over the world. So now you could show this to somebody.
Just a quick recap again.
And they can at least read the captions in another language. But because AI voice is going to really help you reach larger audiences, I want to show you. So we are going to highlight the captions, generate AI voice. Let's go to Spanish. Let's choose Maria. And now I'll click on Erin's video and just mute her.
Anuncios de Reels. Como mostramos en la demostración, definitivamente recomiendo.
I know that was going back to when we were in presentations about AI voice, but I've shown this in a couple of demos in my webinars for customers, and they've been really excited about this feature. So I just wanted to show you
Incluir animaciones y su
how you can make your videos more accessible using the AI voice and translate. Okay, sorry for the detour. Let's get back to the video we were working on for our presentation. So here I have our 3 videos. I've added in slides for like the intro to what we're going to be speaking on about life cycle strategy. We've got our captions. I've added AI voice for the different sections.
Research.
Reels best practices.
Just a quick recap again on
I've also added in some graphics and used element timing.
We're going to be having a look at this chart and discussing.
I don't have time to go into a deep dive in video editing, but check out Design School if that's something you'd want to learn more about. And now I think I just want to add some music, and then we'll download this video and put it into our deck. So go to audio. If you don't see audio right there, again, search in your apps. This is music that I've already been playing around with previously, so it's up top, recently used. Drag it in. So when I am working with music over with somebody that's also speaking, I like to bring the volume down pretty low. But yeah, let's see what this looks like.
An intro to life cycle strategy.
Welcome. To kick things off, we're going to take a look at what we uncovered through some recent market research.
Reels best practices.
Just a quick recap again on using Canva Enterprise for creating those impactful Reels ads.
A walk through the stats.
We're going to be walking us through the findings of the Q1 market research. We're going to be having a look at this chart and discussing what worked and what didn't work and our plan for Q2.
I think this is going to get people really excited to see the presentation to come. So you go up to share and download. It looks like my team has it set to where I have to request approval. So I'd go ahead and request approval to download. Or if you don't have that permission set that way, just download. And now I'm going to go to my final strategy deck. Oh my gosh, I've got a video. We've got, so let's say we're going to start presenting this.
An intro to life cycle strategy.
We've got our presenter notes that are going to make us so confident. We've got our interactive data with our insights, our polls, our quizzes, our AI voice.
Time for a pop quiz. Click on the link
and our data right here in a sheet. So now I think not only have we elevated this presentation to a whole new level, we've also made it accessible and exciting and interactive. And now you can present with confidence and know that your hard work is going to shine through in a really engaging way. So that was everything I had planned for today. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. Let me know in the chat what your favorite feature was. I cannot wait to go back and read that and all of your comments. I do want to give a shout that we want to point you over to Design School if you want to learn anything in your own time. We have a bunch of self-paced modules. So if you were like, oh, I want to learn how to do all of that in video editing, head to Design School. If you want to learn more about presentations, head to Design School. That is there for you so you can upskill on your own time. Once again, make sure you are grabbing that handbook and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye, everybody.